What a bunch of spoiled, jealous brats. All I want to hear from them is thank you. That's it. That's all they should be saying to Caitlin Clark. The only reason they're watching it now is because of that one woman who apparently, I'm not a sports person, but I'm told is the Michael Jordan of women's basketball. Thank you so much for calling attention to our sport that literally no one cares about. Nobody.
70% of WNBA players are black. Caitlin Clark isn't. Now she's getting targeted on the court, and it's getting ugly. Megyn Kelly says it's all about race. But is that really what's going on? I've got the inside scoop from players, coaches, and league insiders. They're finally speaking out, and what they're saying is going to shock you. The WNBA's in panic mode, trying to cover this up. But we're blowing the lid off this whole thing. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark, because this rookie isn't just playing basketball. She's setting the whole WNBA on fire.
She has lived up to expectations, right? I'm looking at her the way I look at LeBron James, right? For us, just in the women's side of things, and the hype that she had, the expectations she had.
Let's start with the rookie, Caitlin Clark Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear, and last night was no different. Wings, fever. Caitlin Clark set to go as she broke the single-season assist record.
She's been playing like a top 5 player in the league. She's been regularly dishing out double-digit assists in that time frame. Teams can no longer blitz her and trap her.
You know what's crazy? In her first few games, Clark's putting up numbers that make veterans look like they're still in high school. We're talking triple-doubles, 30-point games, and assists that'll make your head spin. But here's where it gets wild. The stands are packed, like really packed. We're seeing sellout crowds left and right. People who've never watched a WNBA game in their lives are suddenly glued to their screens. TV ratings? They're through the roof. It's like Clark's got some kind of magic that's pulling in viewers from everywhere. Imagine this. Clark steps on the court and boom! The energy in the arena changes. It's electric. Fans are on their feet before she even touches the ball. Every time she gets possession, you can feel the excitement building. Will she sink a three? Make an impossible pass? The anticipation is insane. You won't believe how much merch she's selling. Her jersey? It's flying off the shelves faster than you can say bucket. Fans are scrambling to get their hands on anything with Clark's name on it. It's like everyone wants a piece of this rookie sensation. But Clark's impact goes way beyond just filling seats and selling jerseys. She's changing the whole game. Other players are stepping up their game to keep up. Coaches are rethinking their strategies. Even the way people talk about women's basketball is different now.
She's the first rookie to win WNBA Player of the Month since the award's inception in 2010, and last night it was no exception. They were sky high for Caitlin Clark and the Fever, but to start the season, they had a little bit of a rough go of it. They lost their first 5 games. They ended up 1-8 through their first 9 games, and during that first month, the playoffs, they didn't feel realistic at all. Indy entered the Olympic break 11-15 on the year, and then they really turned it around. They've won 7 of their 8 since. They clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2016, which, by the way, was the last year of Hall of Famer and franchise icon Tamika Catchings.
You know what's even crazier? Clark's not just bringing in basketball fans. She's attracting people who've never cared about sports before. Suddenly everyone's talking about the WNBA. It's all over social media, it's in the news, it's the hot topic at water coolers across the country. But hold up, because not everyone's thrilled about this rookie sensation. Some veterans are feeling the heat. They're watching this newcomer steal the spotlight, and let's just say, not everyone's happy about it. There's tension brewing under the surface, and it's starting to bubble up in ways you wouldn't expect. You know that tension we talked about? It's not just bubbling anymore. It's boiling over. You won't believe what's happening on the court. Clark's not just facing tough defense, she's getting knocked around like a pinball. And get this, some people are saying it's not about basketball at all. It's about something way bigger. Picture this, Clark's driving to the basket and bam, she gets hit hard, like really hard. During a game against the Connecticut Sun, Clark ended up with a black eye. Yeah, you heard that right. Dijonai Carrington allegedly scratched her eye with her fingernails. And guess what? No foul was called. That's insane. But it's not just a one-time thing. In another game, Chennedy Carter of the Chicago Sky straight up shoulder-checked Clark. I mean, come on, that's not basketball, that's more like football. And it's happening game after game. Coincidence? I don't think so. Now, here's where it gets messy. Some people are saying it's about race. Yeah, you heard that right. About 70% of WNBA players are black, and Clark isn't. That's creating some serious tension. It's like Clark's success is shining a spotlight on this divide, and not everyone's happy about it.
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
Remember what Sunny Hostin said? She thinks Clark's getting attention because she's white and pretty. That's intense. It's like we're not even talking about basketball anymore. We're talking about who gets attention and why. And you know what? It's got people fired up. But wait, it gets crazier. Even Megyn Kelly's jumped in, and she's not pulling any punches. She's calling other WNBA players a bunch of spoiled, jealous brats. Yikes. Kelly's saying these players should be grateful for the attention Clark's bringing to the league. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. And it's not just talk show hosts getting involved. After a hard foul on Clark, Angel Reese, her former college rival, was seen clapping. Like, actually applauding the foul. Can you believe it? It's like there's this whole other game happening off the court. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's turning into this huge thing about race, fairness, and who gets to be the face of women's basketball. The WNBA Players Association is even speaking out, saying all this talk is fueling some nasty racist and misogynistic comments.
Came out a few weeks ago that said Caitlin Clark received 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season, and 80% of those flagrant fouls were committed by the Chicago Sky against Caitlin Clark League. And that's what a lot of players and coaches said about Caitlin Clark and about the rookie class coming into the league, is that that was going to be something that they would need to adjust to. They would need to adjust to the physicality of this league. So there have been cheap shots, there have been hard fouls, there have been other plays that haven't even been called flagrant fouls. But when you have the face of your league getting nearly 20% of all flagrant fouls called against her, that is an issue.
So now we've got a rookie superstar, angry veterans, TV personalities weighing in, and a whole lot of drama. It's like a powder keg, and everyone's just waiting to see what'll set it off next. But you've got to wonder, what does all this mean for the WNBA? Is this the kind of attention they want? Or is it all just too much, too fast? Let's talk about the WNBA's future, because things are getting wild. Caitlin Clark's not just changing the game, she's shaking up the whole league. And you know what? This drama might be exactly what the WNBA needs to explode. Imagine this, the league's suddenly in the spotlight. Everyone's talking about it, but it's not just about basketball anymore. We're seeing debates about race, fairness, and who gets to be the face of women's sports. It's intense. But here's the crazy part. All this controversy could push the WNBA to make some big changes. We're talking new rules, better promotion, maybe even a whole new look for the league. It's like Clark lit a fire under the WNBA, and now they've got to figure out how to handle the heat. So what do you think? Is Clark the spark that'll make the WNBA catch fire? Or is this all happening too fast? The league's at a crossroads, and whatever happens next is gonna be huge.